Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. You're watching CBSE with Sudhir. My name is Sudhir Sahasranaman. Let's look at Unit 4, which is on the environment, and we are looking at the third chapter, which is Waiting for the Rain. It's a lovely short story about a farmer who is rather distressed and unhappy because the monsoon, the rain hasn't arrived, and as a result of which he's not able to take care of his fields, and therefore he worries that he would not be able to grow any crops, and that would lead him to a disaster where he would not be able to take care of his family. That's the essence of this particular story, but there is a larger message of this story about which we will discuss as we go through. Just a point of information in case if you are looking for a question bank for English or any other subject for class 8, the question bank that we are recommending here at CBSE with Sudhir is this one by Oswald Books. This is a question bank that includes your notes, that includes all the answers to the questions given in your NCERT textbook, extra question and answers, practice papers, which are given right at the end. Okay. And most importantly, exercises for grammar and writing skills, which you will find extremely useful as you prepare for your examination. Okay, I would myself prepare some practice papers, at least a couple of them. So look forward to that. I will pass on the information later on in the year. So there are these activities where you are being asked about, have you ever waited for the rains, right? In fact, it's raining right now in my city as I record this. How do you feel when it rains? In fact, the other day, I must tell you, I had a horrible time. I was stuck in the monsoon rain, heavy rain for about 3 hours. And it took me a long time to reach home. And it was very scary, 9:30 p.m. And I reached home at 12:30 in the morning, right? Or 12:30 past midnight, right? So you have to talk about farmers in case you've ever gone to a field, etc. This is a beautiful illustration. Let's get ahead with the story. I hope it rains at least today, Velu thought as he opened his eyes. So the central character of our story is this farmer called Velu, and he's hoping that it will rain at least today, right? Because it shows the tone of this particular sentence tells you immediately that it has not rained for many days. So in the morning, when he gets up, he hopes that it will rain at least that day. That means it has not rained for a long time and he has been waiting for the rain. Velu was the farmer. The sun was beginning to rise, glowing crimson like fire. Now, crimson is an extremely dark color, which kind of indicates the ferocity of the sun, bright red in color like fire. Like if you get up and see the morning sun, along with the yellow, along with a bit of blue, you would see predominantly crimson red. Okay, it's a dark shade of red. Velu scanned the sky. Scan the sky means he looked at all corners of the sky to see if there are any dark clouds, any rain-bearing clouds. There was not a single cloud. It was absolutely clear blue sky. It doesn't look encouraging. He muttered to himself and got up. The word muttered indicates that he's annoyed. Okay, not angry, he's annoyed, he's irritated. That it doesn't look encouraging. It doesn't look like it's going to rain even today. Rain or no rain, a farmer wakes up early. A farmer generally wakes up. If you go to any rural part of India, in any state, you will find that the farmers will always get up early. It could be 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock. You will not find a farmer who gets up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Velu worked hard. His piece of land never failed him. Never failed him means his piece of land that he had on which he did his farming, it always gave him good, bountiful crop. It never, there was not a single year where it did not give a good yield of whatever crop he grew. Season after season, he cultivated it, harvesting jawar one season and dal the other. So what he's doing is crop rotation. That the field does not get any moment of rest. It is jawar one season. Immediately after jawar is harvested, he grows pulses. That is dal on it. It could be tuar dal, arhar dal, whatever, right? Moong dal. Throughout the year, he worked, never thinking of rest or taking a holiday. So it tells you about the character of Velu, that he worked very hard through the year, growing one crop, harvesting it, then immediately growing the next crop, harvesting it, then growing back the same jawar crop. So he never took a holiday. He never rested. For nearly 6 years, it had been so ever since he had got his own piece of land. So for the last 6 years, Velu had been farming on that land. These are all important tidbits of information that are important because the larger message of the story is linked precisely to this piece of information. But this year turned out to be different. At the end of summer, the rains did not come. When the summer ends by the month of May, June, depending on where you are in India. If you're in South India, by May 31st, summer ends, and June, the rain starts. But if you're in the northern part, the summer will go on till June, and you will get the rains only end of June or July. Velu and his neighbors, who are also probably farmers, waited, but their waiting did not end because days, weeks, and months passed, and still there was no rain. Okay, and you can see the ferocity of the sun. The fields lay untended. Untended means nobody to do any work on the field because there is no water. Without water, it becomes dry earth, right? And the earth hardened, right? You see, I don't know if you have ever seen these kind of photographs, especially during drought season. You will find that the fields crack. Okay, the fields crack, and you have this kind of different lines on the fields. They hardened, crusted. Crusted means it almost looks like like papad. It looks like papad on the top, and it is cracking up from there and crack. The barren land. Barren land means land on which there is no water, there is no irrigation. So it's absolutely dry, hard land. Look forlorn. Forlorn is feeling sad and neglected. So this is interesting because the land has been personified as though the land is also having some kind of emotion. We of course call our dharti as dharti ma. It is our mother. So here he's also personifying it. The author, she's also personifying it, saying that the land was looking sad and neglected, that there was no care being given to the land because it was not being given water. So it's as though the land is feeling very thirsty, and the farmers could not do anything except living on hope. So hope that the rain will come, because most parts of India, or rather many parts of India, still depend on rainfall because the irrigation supply is not very good. So they don't get water from the canal or the dams, etc. So they depend largely on the monsoon for the water for their crop. Every day they hope that the rains would come. Someone said we ought to talk to some astrologers. Astrologers are people who would predict the future. Not considered entirely scientific. There are some good astrologers who are able to do so, but many of them are generally inaccurate. They can tell us what will please the heavens, and the heavens will send down rain, right? The astrologers will be able to tell us when the heavens will be able to send the rain down to us. Velu did not agree. He said the rains came all these years without any such consultation. Consultation means seeking advice or seeking the opinion of the astrologers. I can't see how talking to astrologers will bring rain. So Velu believes that talking to astrologers will have no purpose because the rains came even otherwise. The astrologers did not play any role all these years. So why should we go to the astrologers this time? He decided instead to go to the weather office. So he's more of a scientific bent of mind. He decides that, okay, the meteorological department, the weather department will have a better idea because it's based on science. It is based on the cloud movement. It is based on the formation of clouds. So they will have a better idea when the monsoon is expected to arrive in that particular region. So he decided to go there and talk to someone. But the people at the weather office or the meteorological office said they could not tell him when the sky would gather clouds and bring rain. So the weather department people, officials, scientists also had no clue when the monsoon will arrive, which is rather strange. They say we are at a loss ourselves. We are at a loss ourselves doesn't mean that they have lost money. It means that we are at a loss means we are also completely surprised. We are also stumped, right? We are also equally foxed. We also don't understand why the rain is not coming. So many favorable conditions that the conditions are favorable for the monsoon to set in. Actually, right now, the conditions, the weather, overall weather conditions are such, because generally what happens is if there is extreme heat in one area, it actually ends up causing rain in that area eventually, because it becomes like a heat island. So the conditions are very favorable, but still no rain. It is very odd. Very odd means it is very strange that something like this would happen. So this kind of conveys that they are also equally surprised. Okay. Velu too was at a loss, just like the scientist. He was also at a loss. Loss means, again, dejected, not able to understand why this is happening, because last 6 years it had not happened like that. He walked back to the village tired and dejected. Dejected means sad and disappointed. He was thirsty and the dust made him cough and sneeze. He decided to rest for a while. So it was very dusty again, because if there is no monsoon, no rain, so that, the mud, the dust, etc., will keep flying. It will not settle down. So that made him cough and sneeze. He saw a large tree. Its shade was cool and inviting. Though I don't know, the illustration does not convey that. The illustration seems to convey that it's a tree without any leaves. He saw a large tree. Its shade was cool and inviting. As he sat down, he noticed that an old woman was also sitting there, sheltering from the sun, because she was kind of taking refuge under the shade of the tree. Now you just need to recall how much you have understood all this, the chapter so far. Let's go ahead. Her skin was wrinkled, so she was an elderly person, but like somebody's mother, poem. But her eyes sparkled when she smiled. So when she smiled, there was a sparkle in her eyes. The eyes conveyed her kind of radiance, her brightness, her happiness. She looked at Velu and her smile grew wider and her wrinkles deeper. So there are a lot of wrinkles on her faces. So when she smiles, these kind of become more deep. What are you smiling at, Amma? Velu asked. Without the rains, there is nothing to smile about. So he's obsessed with the rain and he fails to understand how somebody could smile when there is no rain. So he believes that rain is the only element that can bring happiness to everyone on earth. And therefore, he's a little irked and irritated that the elderly woman is smiling even though there is no rain. Yes, you are right, the old woman said, the smile leaving her lips. So now she stops smiling because she realizes Velu is not happy to see her smile, because he's annoyed, he's angry that there has been no rain and disappointed. I wonder what I have done to deserve this, Velu began. I have worked hard and honestly. I don't know why rains are not coming, why I am not being supported by the rain god, because I have worked very hard and I've worked in a very honest manner. Yet I am being punished. So you see, he thinks that the rain god is punishing him, even though he has worked hard and in a very honest manner. So he's trying to see if there is some kind of a personal connection between the rain and him as a farmer. Without the rains, I can't till the land. Till the land means you kind of, with the tractor or with the plow, you kind of move the earth up, down. So that is called the process of tilling the land. When you till the land, the earth becomes loose, and then you sow the seeds, it will come out very well. Otherwise, on a hard land, if you put the seed, it will not come. So you need to put the seed a little down. I've done a lot of reporting on agriculture, so I know a lot about agriculture. So you put the seed down, and then it gets the moisture as a result of the monsoon, and then it will come up. The plant will come up. If I don't till the land, no crop will grow, obviously. What will happen to me? How shall I feed my family? He asked somewhat bitterly. Bitterly means he's very disappointed and a little angry. So he's constantly thinking about himself that, why am I being punished like this? Because I have done no wrong. And now when I'm not able to till the land, when I'm not able to grow the crop, how will I feed my family? So he's feeling very worried. So he's very worried at this point in time, and this expression conveys that. He wasn't speaking to anyone in particular. It's not as though he was telling it to the old woman. He was talking to himself. He's feeling very bitter. But the old lady thought that he was opening his heart to her. But the old lady thought that all this is being said to her, whereas he was actually only, you're speaking to yourself. Perhaps you have worked too hard, she said. That maybe you worked very hard. What do you mean? Can anyone work too hard? I have only done what any hardworking farmer would do. So he doesn't think that I work very hard. Yes, though just now he said I work very hard, but he doesn't think that he did anything extraordinary. Any hardworking farmer would do that, right? So he believes that he is a hardworking person, honest person, but at the same time, he doesn't think that he did something extraordinary which no other hardworking farmer would do. I shall work and never rest until I am too old. Till such time that I have strength in my body, I will continue to work. This is the first season in 6 years that I have not sown nor plowed. Sown means sowing the seeds. Plowing means the process of tilling the land, of turning the earth inside out. Oh, it is hard not to be able to work, said Velu a little angrily. So, he says it's very hard not to be able to work. So working hard is very important. And you know what time I'm recording this video? 7:19 in the morning, right? Right now the time is 7:19 in the morning. I got up, took bath, and decided I will record this early in the morning. So, that whole process of working hard, you take a certain pride in it. And Velu takes pride in the fact that he does work hard. And he says, I've been working hard for the last 6 years, and now I'm being prevented from working because the monsoon has not arrived. But my son, that's what I'm talking about. You have strength now. You can work without a break. But have you thought about the land? This is the important question that we are thinking about. I'm working hard, but have you thought, right? For example, I'm recording on my laptop. I have to take care about my laptop also, that it should also support me, my entire infrastructure, the camera, everything, that it should support me to do this. If I work continuously, my laptop can get hot, right? And it may kind of start malfunctioning. So I have to take care of it. Similarly, she said, you are working hard, but have you thought about the land? That's what is the important message of this poem. We'll go into more details. She says, the earth is working too, which is true, the farmer is working, but the earth is also doing all that inside it in order to kind of produce the crop. Isn't that true? So the earth is like a partner of the farmer. Both of them together produce the crop. It's not enough that the farmer says, I am working hard. He doesn't realize that the earth is also tired. The earth has also been working hard for the last 6 years. And in this case, that's his piece of earth. But she says the entire earth has worked for years, for centuries, in fact, for thousands of years. The soil, the land, the earth. Shouldn't someone let the earth, the land, rest a bit? The old woman said, softly smiling. So she's making a very important point that the earth has been working for centuries, thousands of years. Why don't we let the earth also rest? Let me rest, and then I will start working once again for you, right? So the farmer Velu says, rest. He doesn't understand the concept of rest because he does not like to rest. He says, rest? Let the land rest? I don't understand. He's very confused by what the old woman has said. Yes, my son, that is the difficulty. You don't realize that the earth is old. It has been with us for millions of years. But nature is a mother to all of us. Mother Nature has to take care of everyone, including the land, to you and to me, and to trees, the water, the soil. She takes care to give her children the rest they need. So the Mother Earth believes that this piece of land now needs some rest. So therefore, let the rains wait so that it gets time to rest, recover, and then get the energy once again to produce crop for Velu and other farmers in that area. That is what is happening. Velu began to understand. When the rains don't come, you are dejected, the old woman says. You are disappointed, but natural, right? But in that way, the land is left alone because you are not doing any work on the land. So the land does not have to work at that time. The land lies undisturbed, staring at the sky, resting, just looking at the sky and resting, right? Please, when you are writing the answers, use these words like undisturbed, staring at the sky, resting, left alone, because your teacher will know that, okay, the student has used words from the text, which means that he has read the text, he or she has read the text many times. And when the rains come, it will spring back into activity. And that's when the activity will start, fresh and ready for your crop. Go home, my son. Nature knows a thing or two. Go home. Nature knows a thing or two means what? That nature does know a few things. You go home, it will take care of everything. She walked away. After a while, Velu too got up and walked homeward. That is, he walked towards his home. He thought about the land, his beloved piece of land, which, if he were to believe the old woman, was perhaps breathing peacefully, taking a break from the constant ceaseless means continuous, without a break, year-round cultivation. Because we have been told right at the beginning what I told you, jawar, then he harvests it, then he grows pulses or dal, harvests again jawar. So he's not giving any rest. So just imagine if you were asked to work for 24 hours continuously, no sleep, you work for 24 hours, immediately as soon as the one day finishes, then you are again given work. If you work like that, don't we get tired? Don't we need that 7 to 8 hours of sleep? That is the time for resting. So if we are getting the rest, shouldn't the land also get rest, right? Velu believes that he has been working very hard, but he doesn't realize that he has actually been resting every night. The land continues to work because even at night, the crops, etc., are growing, right? So they are continuously, but the land is continuously working. Velu doesn't realize it. He's realized that I have been working hard like any other hardworking farmer. So why are the monsoons disappointing me? Why are they kind of letting me down? Perhaps she's right, he thought as he approached the village. It was already evening. The sun was low in the sky. And what was that? Velu felt a cool breeze on his back. So the breeze was cool, not hot breeze like it was all during the summer. Then he felt a tiny drop on his shoulder. He looked up. Yes, the clouds were gathering in the distance. It was growing dark. Soon there would be lightning and thunder and sweet, fragrant rain. Fragrant means the rain which will have a nice smell, right? Velu ran home laughing and happy. This story written by Kamakshi Balasubramaniam tells us the story that everyone does need rest every time, right? You need to give time for people to recover, and then they would be able to, including the land, it would be able to perform very well. I hope you have understood the story. I hope you have understood the message of this particular story. Short, sweet story that conveys that we should respect anyone who is working with us or working for us, including the land. You know, you need to give everything time. Patience is key. You need to allow people to rest and recover, and then they would be able to. There are some, offices, where they keep on bombarding you with the work without thinking that the human brain needs time to process, to rest and recover, and then come back and work again, right? That's very important, which is why it said that you need a certain number of holidays in a year where you rest, recover, and then you can come with renewed energy. Now the land will come back with renewed energy for Velu the farmer so that he can grow his jawar or dal, whichever crop he's planning to grow now, and then he can do very well as a farmer and feed his family and take care of the family. Okay, thank you very much for listening to this video. I hope you have understood every bit, the larger messaging, and also every word and every sentence of this story. I'll now meet you in the next video. Till then, tata, bye bye, namaskar.